Young police officers would come to him for firearms training. The techniques William taught them weren't in any textbook: tactical positioning, breathing control, shooting under stress. Where had he learned all this? William Harper had been running a gun shop in Millfield for 30 years. At 65, he was a gray-haired, humble man. He opened his shop at 8 a.m. every morning and closed at 6 p.m. every evening. His customers knew him as a reliable, honest businessman. He had never married and lived alone, but nobody noticed why he knew every gun model by heart, why his workshop was organized with military precision, or why he sometimes stared off into the distance with distant eyes. Until the Millfield Police Department approached him for special firearms training. That's when William's 30-year secret would finally come to light. Welcome to the last stand. How much do you really know about the elderly business owners around you? Have you ever wondered about their past? Share in the comments. William Harper's gun shop was located on Main Street in Millfield, right on the corner. It was small but well organized. Antique firearms were displayed in the window, and various hunting certificates hung on the walls. Physically, William looked quite fit for a 65-year-old man. Medium height, broad shoulders, hands calloused from work. Even when walking, he moved with purpose. His customers were usually local hunters, police officers, and security guards. William was polite to everyone but didn't talk much. He would quietly do his work, help his customers, and complete his day. The most striking feature of his workshop was its organization. Every tool was in its place. Screws and parts were arranged by size. The cleanliness was perfect. This order seemed like the result of military discipline. William's daily routine was always the same. He would leave home at 7 a.m., get his coffee from the town's only coffee shop, and go to his store. During lunch break, he would visit the same coffee shop, always sit at the same corner table, and read his newspaper. What was interesting was how William read the newspaper. He didn't just follow local news, but carefully tracked national news as well. Military topics and international developments particularly caught his interest. In the evenings, he lived alone at home. His neighbors knew him as a quiet, orderly man. He never had visitors and didn't participate in social events. His only apparent hobby was collecting antique firearms. On Sundays, his shop was closed. On these days, William would go to the shooting range outside town. Here, too, he would quietly spend time doing target practice. His shooting results were always perfect, but he never shared this with anyone. The townspeople loved William. He was honest, reliable, and good at his job, but nobody knew much about his past. He had moved to Millfield 30 years ago. That was all. Sometimes, when William saw old military firearms that customers brought to his workshop, he would act differently. His eyes would drift to distant places, as if he was remembering old memories. These moments were very brief, and he would immediately return to normal. One day, Officer Richards from the Millfield Police Department came to the shop. He had a broken pistol in his hand. "William, can you fix this gun?" he asked. William took the gun and examined it. Man 9 Beretta, 1985 model. Problems in the trigger mechanism, he said. Richards was surprised. "How did you figure that out so quickly?" "Experience," William said. "I know this model very well." Richards was curious. "How do you know it? This is a military weapon." William paused and thought. "I used to work with these types of firearms a lot," he said vaguely. Richards didn't ask more questions, but his curiosity increased. William's knowledge about military firearms was truly impressive. A few weeks later, Richards came again, this time with a different proposal. "William, would you consider giving firearms training at the department? We need to improve our officers' shooting levels." William hesitated. "I'm just a repairman, but you know this stuff really well. We need someone experienced like you." William thought for a long time. Finally, he agreed. "Okay, but just basic training." The following week, William went to the Millfield Police Department shooting range for the first time as an instructor. 5 young police officers were waiting for him. "I'm William Harper," he said. "I'll teach you basic shooting techniques." In his first observation, he evaluated the officers' shooting levels. Most had wrong stances, no breathing control, and primitive aiming techniques. "Stop," William said. "Let's learn the basic position first." William lined up the officers. Feet shoulder, width apart, body slightly forward, gun held with both hands. He demonstrated every detail. Then he explained breathing control. Breathe in, exhale halfway, aim, pull the trigger. Never fire while fully exhaling or inhaling. The officers followed William's instructions. Shooting results immediately began to improve. But William's real experience became apparent when he gave training on shooting under stress. In real situations, adrenaline rises, hands shake, heart rate increases. He said, "Let's simulate this." William had the officers run, do jumping jacks, increase their heart rates. Then he immediately had them shoot. "Now calm down, control your breathing, fire." This technique wasn't in any training manual. The officers were amazed. Officer Richards was curious. "William, where did you learn these techniques?" "Experience," William said again. "Shooting under stress is a different thing." "What experience? You were never a police officer." William hesitated. "I used to work in a different job." After training ended, Richards turned to his friend Officer Thompson. "This guy isn't a normal repairman. This training is professional level." Thompson agreed. "Yeah, like he's had military training." In the second week of training, William started the officers on more advanced techniques. Tactical positions, taking cover, teamwork. When taking cover behind a target, show the least part of your body, he said. Left shoulder, left eye on target, body parallel to the wall. Officer Jenkins asked, "William, these tactics aren't taught in police training. How do you know them?" William stopped. This question was asked in every training session, and it was becoming harder to answer. "I used to read military books when I was young," he said, but this answer wasn't very convincing. On the third training day, something unexpected happened. During training, a gunshot came from the range. But this wasn't a training shot, it was a sound coming from very close. William immediately stopped. "Everyone down," he shouted. The officers were surprised. William's sudden command was very professional. "That sound isn't coming from the shooting range," William said. "It's coming from closer." A voice came over the radio. "All units, armed robbery on Main Street. We need assistance." The officers stood up, but William stopped them. "Be careful. The robber might still be armed." "How can you stay so calm?" Richards asked. William thought before answering. "Experience," he said again. After the incident, Richards made a decision. He would investigate William's background. This much professional knowledge and calmness wouldn't exist in an ordinary repairman. The next day, Richards began searching town records. William Harper had moved to Millfield in 1994. There were no records before that date. Richards also searched online. William Harper was a very common name, but he decided to search military records. A few days later, Richards found something. In 1991 Gulf War veteran records, there was a name that read William J. Harper, 75th Ranger Regiment. Richards got excited. Could this be the same William? He did more detailed research. William J. Harper, born 1959, Army Ranger, served in the Gulf War, retired in 1994. The age matched. William was currently 65 years old. He could have been born in 1959. Richard shared this information with his friends. "I think I found out who William is." But he didn't dare ask directly. William clearly didn't want to talk about his past. A week later, while training continued, Richards decided, "William, can I talk to you privately?" "Sure," William said. The two went to a quiet corner of the range. "William, I researched you," Richards said. William's face changed. "What did you research?" 75th Ranger Regiment, Gulf War, 1994 retirement. William was silent for a long time. Then he took a deep breath. "How did you find out?" "Professional research." "William, why didn't you ever tell us?" "Because what's in the past should stay in the past." Richards was curious. "But you're a hero. Being an Army Ranger is a great honor." "I'm not a hero." William said, "I just did my duty." "What duties? What did you experience in the Gulf?" William hesitated. He remembered memories he hadn't shared with anyone for 30 years. It was January 1991. He began. The operation to retake Kuwait had begun. I was serving in the 75th Ranger Regiment. Richards listened carefully. Our mission was to get behind enemy lines, capture strategic points. Very dangerous missions. What kind of missions? Capturing airports, destroying command centers, capturing enemy leaders. William stopped. It was hard to tell these details. One day we got a special mission. We had to destroy an enemy ammunition depot, but the depot was inside a civilian area. Richards listened excitedly. The depot was heavily guarded. We decided to do a night operation. We were a 6-man team. What happened? Everything was going well. We reached the depot, placed the explosives, but we got ambushed while leaving. William's voice began to tremble. My buddies were wounded. I had to save them. I fought the enemy alone. What was the result? I saved them all, but the operation was very difficult. After that day, war changed for me. Richards was impressed. You're a real hero. No, William said. I just tried to protect my buddies. After this conversation, Richards shared with the other officers. They all started looking at William differently, but William didn't want this. Please keep this between us, he said. Richards agreed, but the town was very small. The news would spread. A few days later, while William was working in his shop, the mayor came. William, I have a request. What is it? Veterans Day ceremony is approaching. We heard your story. Would you give a speech at our ceremony? William was surprised. No, I don't give speeches, but the townspeople should know who you are. I'm just a repairman. The mayor insisted. William, you're this town's hero. People should know you, William thought. He couldn't hide his identity that he had kept secret for 30 years anymore. Okay, he finally said. But a short speech, Veterans Day Ceremony Day, arrived. A crowd had gathered in the town square. When William took the stage, everyone applauded. I'm William Harper, he began. I've been living among you for 30 years. The crowd listened silently. In 1991, I participated in the Gulf War as an Army Ranger. I did my duty there and came home. He paused, caught his breath. War isn't an easy thing. It changes a person's life. I changed too. When I came here, I just wanted a quiet life. You gave me that opportunity. Applause came from the crowd. This town gave me a new life. I tried to serve you too. William took out a small medal from his pocket. This is my Bronze Star medal. I had been hiding it for 30 years. Today I'm showing it for the first time. The crowd responded with great applause. This medal isn't just mine. It belongs to all my buddies who fought with me, especially my buddies who couldn't come home. William's eyes filled with tears. Tommy Rodriguez, Mike Stevens, Danny Wright, they are the real heroes. I'm just the lucky one. After the ceremony, the townspeople surrounded William. Everyone was thanking him. Elderly Mr. Thompson approached. William, we've been neighbors for 20 years. I never knew. Because it wasn't important. William said, How is it not important? You're a hero. I just did my job. From that day on, William's life changed. People started seeing him differently. Respect had increased, but William wasn't comfortable. Police training also continued. Now the officers listened to William differently. Army Ranger experience had increased the weight of his words. Being under stress is normal, William would say. The important thing is not to panic. Breathe, focus, do your job. Officer Richards asked, What was the hardest moment in the Gulf? William thought. The moment I saw my buddies get wounded. That's when I had to decide, run or fight. What did you choose? To fight, because I couldn't leave them. These stories increased the officers' respect for William. A month later, William received an unexpected phone call. The caller was Colonel Martinez from the 75th Ranger Regiment. William Harper? Yes, I'm Colonel Martinez. I learned that you're a ranger. William was surprised. How did you learn? Local news. Your Veterans Day speech got a lot of attention. I see. William, I have an offer for you. Would you share your experiences in ranger training? William hesitated. I'm retired, Colonel, but your experience is very valuable. You need to tell young rangers about real combat experience, William thought. Maybe sharing his experiences would be good. Okay, I'll come. A week later, William went to Fort Benning. For the first time in 30 years, he had set foot on a military base. He met with young Rangers. They were all 25 years old, the age William was when he went to the Gulf. "I'm William Harper," he said. "In 1991, when I was your age, I went to the Gulf." The Rangers listened carefully. "I'm going to tell you what I experienced. You need to know what real war is like." William spoke for 3 hours that day. He told about his Gulf experiences, lessons learned, mistakes made. "War isn't like movies," he said. "Real war is terrible, dirty, difficult, but you have a mission. You have to do that mission." The Rangers asked many questions. William patiently answered them all. After training, Colonel Martinez approached William. "It was a great presentation. Will you come again?" "Of course," William said. While returning home, William felt changed. For the first time in 30 years, he had shared his past and felt good. When he returned to Millfield, the townspeople welcomed him. William's Fort Benning visit had been news in the local newspaper. "William, we're proud of you," the mayor said. William no longer hid his past. His Bronze Star Medal was displayed in his shop. Police training also continued. Now William taught not only shooting, but leadership and teamwork. "Being a leader isn't easy," he would say. "You have to make the right decisions, sometimes life and death decisions." The officers learned a lot from William's experiences. 6 months later, William received a call from Washington. A general from the Pentagon was calling. "Mr. Harper, we want to meet with you." William was surprised. "Why?" "Your veteran experiences are very valuable. We need your help for a special program." William went to the Pentagon. What he learned there affected him greatly. "We want you to work with veterans who have PTSD," General Morrison said. "Your experience can help them." William agreed. Now he was helping veterans not just in Millfield but across the country. When he returned home, William had completely changed. The 30-year silence had ended. In his shop, he wasn't just repairing guns anymore. He was also meeting with veterans who had PTSD. "I was like you too," he would tell them. "I lived quietly for 30 years, but sharing helps heal." Veterans trusted William because he had experienced the same things. A year later, the William Harper Veteran Support Center opened in Millfield. William was now helping veterans full-time. On opening ceremony day, a large crowd gathered in the town square. When William took the stage, he received a long applause. "A year ago, I was just an ordinary town resident like you," he said, "but I learned that sharing our past is better than hiding it." The crowd listened carefully. "This center isn't just mine. It belongs to all our veterans. Nobody is alone here." William took out an old photograph from his pocket. "This is a photo of my Ranger team. Tommy, Mike, Danny. They're all here." He held up the photo. For their memory, this center will always be open. After the ceremony, William talked with his friends. Officer Richards approached. "William, what would have happened if we hadn't known who you were a year ago?" William smiled. "I would still be that quiet repairman. You look happier now, because I'm at peace with my past now." If these powerful stories appeal to you too, don't forget to subscribe to the Last Stand channel. We'll continue bringing you more hero stories every day, and remember, all the elderly people around you have a story. Talk to them, listen to them, because these stories need to be shared before they're lost. William Harper is 65 years old today, running the Veteran Support Center in Millfield. His gun shop is still open, but now he's not just repairing guns, he's repairing lives. And every day he looks at his Bronze Star Medal and remembers his friends. Tommy Rodriguez, Mike Stevens, Danny Wright. Their memory continues to live. "The past stays in the past," he used to say. Now, he says, "the past shapes the future."